Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
This is Cesar Delgado from Bax Road of Illinois on Farm Progress. We are discussing about crop progress in northern Illinois. Corn and soybeans is ahead of the schedule for the corn planting season with Jason Deppenbrook from Adam.
Good morning, Cesar. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me on today.
Good morning, Jason.
Morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful morning out there. Beautiful sunny morning out there, to be honest. Going to warm up, be a beautiful day, beautiful weekend.
How is the planting in northern LaSalle County and surrounding areas?
Well, I'd say right now, as far as planting goes around here, we're probably right on schedule, probably a little bit ahead of time, to be honest. Corn, for the most part, is in the ground. Probably 85, 90% of the corn is done. Majority of it's coming up. Needs some heat. Looks a little yellow right now. Could really use some sunshine and heat to get that boost and get it going. Soybeans look good. Soybeans are in the ground. We got off early planting soybeans this year. A lot of people planted soybeans early, planted them early, like as they were planting corn. Soybeans, some of them are coming up, look pretty good. There is some replant going on in soybeans. Some of them early soybeans that were planted. The cold weather just affected them a little too much. So we are seeing some replant of soybeans around the area. Not a lot. There are a few guys that were just had some sporadic stands out there that are out there replanting them. So all in all, I'd say we're doing pretty good as far as planting and planting progress goes. Now we just need some sunlight and some heat to get everything up and going.
Yeah. How is the dry since October?
Oh, I think there was some concerns coming into planting season about it being a little too dry. And it was a little too dry, but every producer I've talked to in the surrounding area, in the local area, just remarked and commented how this, as dry as it was, how great the ground was to work into this year and how perfect it seemed like the soil conditions were. So there was a spell here in the last 2 to 3 weeks where we kept missing some rains up here. They were getting them to the south and south of Interstate 80, but up here we were missing them. But we kind of made up for that last weekend with some pretty widespread 1.5 to 3 inch rains throughout the area. Looking at the forecast for this coming week, it looks like there's a small chance of rain about every day this coming week. So I think we're sitting good right now, early season, for soil conditions and for moisture.
Do you have any concerns about the markets? Because it is pretty high.
Oh, I've always got concerns about the markets. Today looking at it, this week, going into this week, we were seeing some new contract highs made every day. We had a crop report, USDA report that came out Wednesday of this week. And we just didn't get enough bullish news out of it. Not that the report wasn't bullish, it slightly was, but I think the trade was anticipating a bigger cut in demand, or a bigger cut in the supply, a bigger cut in the ending stocks, and some larger demand usage. We just didn't see it from the USDA. So we kind of ran out of steam on Wednesday after that report. Markets were down. Yesterday, we were down very, very hard on the markets. In fact, we tested the 40-cent limit on corn throughout most of yesterday's day down. Beans were down 60, 70 cents at one time yesterday. A lot of that was carryover from Wednesday's report, as well as the Interstate 40 bridge issue that's going on in Memphis right now and how that's going to affect river traffic. So markets were down hard yesterday. Today, they're back up, actually. Old corn, well, to an extent, old corn's down 8 cents. New corn is up about 3 cents right now. Old beans are up 9 and new beans are up 8.5. So we've rebounded a little bit, made up some of yesterday's losses here this morning, which is good to see. I think that the critical point in this market this year will be that end of June report. We got 2 reports still between here and there. We've got a June supply and demand report. That'll be another critical one. And then we have the June 30th stocks and final acreage report, which will be our big report. And every year at the end of June, 1st of July is a kind of a pivotal point in a marketing year. It's at that point, yes, we're going to have a crop. Things look fine. Market starts to tail off and drift slower into harvest, or we get to that point and it's like, there is some issues. There's some weather issues. It's going to be tight, and we see the market continue to rally. Very similar to what we saw in 2012. We got to that end of June, 1st of July. We had some drought issues spread throughout the U.S. and the market continued to rally right in through harvest. So every year, that is a critical turning point in the market. This year, it looks like it's going to be the same because the supply demand balance sheets are tight right now. So we need to, get into that. We need to get to the end of that time. We need to have some good weather to keep the pipeline full. I mean, high prices are great and all, but high prices have a tendency to cure high prices. Everything else just goes up along with it. Your input costs all seem to rise as well. So at a point you're making some money, but you end up making the same margin, just handling more dollars overall.
I have a question. What do you mean? The ending stock.
Ending stocks is how much grain is projected to be in inventory here in the U.S. come August 31st. So ending stocks is how much corn will be left over here in the U.S. and how much beans will be left over here in the U.S. come August 31st. Current projections right now on that. If I pull this up, give me a second to pull this report up and just glance at it. So on August 31st of this year coming up, we're anticipating there to be ending stocks of about 1.25 billion bushels. The previous report had us at 1.352 billion bushels, so we did see a slight drop. That tells us that demand is good and we're using up corn. That billion bushels is kind of a critical point there. So that's where we're at on corn. On soybeans, the ending stocks last report was 120 million bushels. We're projecting that right now in this report to be at 120 million bushels as well. So that's kind of how much grain is left in the pipeline come the end of the marketing year.
Okay, sounds good. Tell me about yourself.
So my background, give me 1 second here. My background, Caesar, is I've been with ADM since I've been in the grain industry since 1996. Started my career, went to college, Western Kentucky University. Started my career with ADM in 1996. Went through the travel training program and rotation. Left ADM in the summer of 1997. Went to work for an FS company in Princeton. Did that for a year as a grain department manager, and then decided to come back to ADM. So I came back to ADM in late summer of 1998. I worked down in Hennepin, Illinois on the river. Did barge logistics, bought grain from co-ops and elevators, et cetera. We closed that office in 2003, then moved to the Ottawa area office where we had an office for all the river terminals in Northern Illinois. Did that for a couple months. And at that time they were building, Fasco Mills Company was building the Northern Crossing Rail Facility in Mendota. ADM got involved in with them as a joint venture. So I moved up to there in January of 2004, I believe. I was the ADM representative for the joint venture up there. That was the rail terminal that ships trains of corn to Texas. Did that for 3-4 years. ADM acquired Fasco Mills. Went to work for ADM and in Mendota, in our office in Mendota. And then we consolidate all of our river terminal offices and country offices into Mendota 2008. Became a regional office, and I started dealing with producer direct origination, buying from farmers in 2010, I believe. I've been doing that ever since. Probably been the best move I've made in my career is the producer origination side. I really enjoy working with producers on a daily basis.
Could you tell me about the brand new wheat mill?
Sure. So the new wheat mill that Caesar's mentioning is there in Mendota, Illinois, right off Interstate 39. You cannot miss it when you're driving up the interstate. It's right where our corn loading facility, rail loading facility is at. It's a state-of-the-art mill, the largest mill built from the ground up. It's all automated. We handle every type of class of wheat that there is. We handle the soft red winter wheat grown around here, the hard red spring wheat, and the wheats that are grown out west. As far as the soft red winter wheat around here, there's basically 3 mills in one facility. Each one is kept separate because of the different protein levels and the different products the flour is produced for. We buy all the farm direct wheat in the area out of our office up here, myself and the regional manager in charge of originating that wheat. That's the soft red winter wheat that's grown locally here in Northern Illinois, all the way up into Wisconsin. The other types of wheat classes that we handle come in by rail. They come in by rail from out west. The unique thing about our facility is that we can take in 110 car unit trains of wheat on our loop track. We can dump those cars of wheat and then turn right back around after that train is unloaded and reload that train with corn going back west to the Texas feed market. So it makes it for a great, freight move right there when you can bring product in, unload it, and then load product right back out. One of the byproducts of the flour milling process is wheat mids, which is a feed product. And we have wheat mid trucks coming in every day that are loading out mids for cattle feeders in the area and all over. We ship flour out by truck, by bulk truck. We also have bagged flour that gets shipped out. And we do have the capacity to ship out flour by rail if we need to.
Well, I'm planting winter wheat with rash dishes, but it is not dead. That's weird. Darn. We cut off the wheat as nitrogen fixations.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Yeah, there's the wheat's actually looking pretty good in the area. It's got some good growth to it right now. We're hitting kind of a growth spurt. Some heat would be welcome on the wheat as well. So wheat's looking really good in the area. It's interesting you mentioned radishes because we plant 3 big vegetable gardens here at our house. And back Mother's Day weekend, the ground was so good and seemed fit. Weather was good. I went ahead and tilled our gardens up, got our potatoes planted, but that was it. So it's just been sitting idle since then. But I'm amazed by the radishes that we had growing because I planted tillage radishes last fall. I was amazed by the ones that are now growing in my garden right now. I've kind of left them alone because I know they're doing their job, and probably going to till the rest of those under this weekend and get the rest of our vegetable garden planted.
But my old man don't like the radishes.
Yeah, my wife's not a big fan of the ones in our garden when I plant them in the fall either, because when that cold weather hits and they die off, they put off a pretty bad smell there. So good for the soil, great for the soil. Boy, do they open the soil up, and you can tell the difference when you're running that tiller over top of it, how much difference it is.
Yeah, hey, would you like to go to be my contribution for my podcast on every Friday morning?
Yeah, I'm sure I can do some of those for you. I don't know if I can do every Friday because I'm not around every week, but yeah, I can do that. Let's do it.
Cool, man. Well, I'm Cesar Delgado from Bax Road of Illinois on Farm Progress. Hey, please subscribe to my podcast at Illinois Farm Boys with Kevin Nelson on Saturday morning at 10. Thanks for your efforts and your help.
Anytime, Caesar. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. Really enjoyed it. Look forward to our chats again here soon.